Welcome students, class 12th chemistry. Today we are discussing the topics solubility, Henry's law, ideal and non-ideal solutions for chapter 2 solutions. Solubility. What is solubility? Solubility of substance is its maximum amount that can be dissolved in a particular amount of the solvent at a particular temperature and depends upon the nature of solute and the solvent as well as temperature and pressure. किसी सॉल्वेंट में कितना मैक्सिमम सोल्यूट डिसॉल्व हो सकता है वो उसकी क्वालिटी कहलाती है सॉल्युबिलिटी. Solubility of solid in a liquid, polar solute dissolve in polar solvent and non-polar in non-polar solvents. That is like dissolve like. जो जैसा है वो उसको अपने साथ वैसा ही डिसॉल्व कर सकता है because their forces of interactions are similar. Dissolution. When a solid solute is added to solvent, some solute dissolves and its concentration increases in the solution. That is dissolution. And crystallization. Some solute particles in solution collide with the solid solute particles and get separated, and these settle down as the crystals. So that is known as the crystallization. So at the state of dynamic equilibrium, rate of dissolution becomes equal to rate of crystallization, and solutes which are dissolving in the solvent to form the solution, their rate will be equal to the crystallization of the solute from the solution, and that is equilibrium state. Effect of temperature on solubility of solids in liquids. As per Le Chatelier's principle, dissolution process is endothermic. So as per the law, if we increase the temperature, endothermic reactions are favored, so more and more solute will dissolve on increasing the temperature. Means those solids which dissolve with absorption of heat, their solubility will increase with increasing temperature. Example, ammonium chloride, sucrose, etc. If the dissolution process is endothermic, that is solid dissolves with evolution of heat, the solubility will decrease with the rise in temperature. So these will be soluble at low temperature. Example, aluminium chloride, calcium oxides, etc. Effect of pressure. Pressure does not have any significant effect on the solubility of solids in liquid because solid and liquids, these are not compressible to appreciable amount, so these remain unaffected by change in the pressure. Now, solubility of the gases in liquid. How the gases are dissolved in liquids? So first example we can see in case of the cold drink bottles, when we open it, it squeezes out with bubbles, and because the carbon dioxide gases, cold drinks are dissolved at very high pressure in the fragmented or solvents with particular fragrance. And when the pressure is decreased by opening the lid, the solubility of gas decreases and it comes out from the solution. So that is the solubility of gas solute in liquid solvent. So that is governed by the Henry's law. Now what is this Henry's law? It explains that solubility of the gas in liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas. जितने गैस का प्रेशर लिक्विड की सरफेस पर ऊपर से लगाया जाएगा उतने ही गैस लिक्विड में डिसॉल्व होगी. और हम ये भी कह सकते हैं solubility of gas in liquid is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas in the solution. जितने मोल्स उसके अंदर हैं वही उसकी solubility बताएंगे. Now partial pressure of the gas is equal to KH XA and P is equal to KH into XA. So partial pressure is directly proportional to the mole fraction. We must note that the value of KH depends on the temperature, and on increasing temperature KH increases. On the other hand, solubility decreases with the increase in value of temperature, so also decreases with the increase in KH. We must know also the नॉन लिक्विफिएबल गैसेज, जिनको हम परमानेंट गैसेज कहते हैं, लाइक हाइड्रोजन, नाइट्रोजन, हीलियम, विच आर नॉन लिक्विफिएबल, हैव हायर वैल्यू ऑफ KOH. बट गैसेज विच है आर लिक्विफिएबल, वाटर में डिसॉल्व हो जाती हैं, आसानी से लिक्विफाई की जा सकती हैं, CO2, अमोनिया, SO2 एटसेट्रा. दीज हैव लेस वैल्यू ऑफ KH, so they are highly soluble in water. Limitations of Henry's law. This law is applicable only for gases under ideal conditions, that is very low pressure and high temperature. The molecules of gases should not be dissociate or associate. There will be no dissociation or association, and gases does not chemically combine with the solvent. Applications in industries, we can find out the value applications of Henry's law, like to increase the solubility of carbon dioxide in soft drinks and soda water bottles are sealed under high pressure. काफी हाई प्रेशर पे CO2 गैस को सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक बनाने के लिए, सोडा वाटर में बनाने के लिए पास किया जाता है. टू मिनिमाइज द पेनफुल इफेक्ट ऑफ द accompanying the compression of deep sea divers, oxygen is diluted with less soluble helium gas used for the breathing. In lungs where oxygen is present under high pressure, hemoglobin combines with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin, and in tissues where partial pressure is low, oxohemoglobin releases oxygen for utilization for activities. Means Henry's law can explain many natural processes. We can have the example based on Henry's law. If nitrogen gas is bubbled through water at 293, how many moles of N2 gas would dissolve in 1 liter of water? Assume that N2 exerts a partial pressure of 0.987 bar, given that Henry's constant is 76.48 into 10 kilobar. So we must know what is given in the example. In that case, given that pressure is 0.983, KH means 76480 bar, kilobar means multiplied by 1000, so these are bars. Volume of water 1 liter means 1000 ml. Density of water we know 1 gram per ml. So mass of water is also 1000 gram. Now molecular mass of water is 18 gram H2 plus O. Mass of 2 hydrogens plus oxygen equal to 18 gram. So number of moles present in 1000 gram of water will be 1000 divided by 18. So these are the moles of the solvent. Now Henry's law explains that P is equal to Kx and X is equal to P upon K. So we find out the first mole fraction value of X, that is 1.29 10 to the power 5. Let N be the moles of nitrogen. So mole fraction will be N divided by N plus 55.5, and that value is, the N is calculated. So these are the numbers which are present dissolved in 1000 ml or 1 liter or 1000 gram of solvent. So we can find out the moles of nitrogen to dissolve in solution. Vapor pressure. The pressure exerted by the vapors above the liquid surface in equilibrium with liquid at a given temperature is known as vapor pressure of the liquid, and this temperature is known as the boiling point at which temperature these are in equilibrium with each other. Factors affecting vapor pressure. Vapor pressure is directly proportional to 1 upon intermolecular forces, or we can say inversely proportional. More the attraction force is, lesser is vapor pressure. Vapor pressure is directly proportional to temperature, and it is directly proportional to purity percentage. And presence of non-volatile solute, on addition of non-volatile solute, vapor pressure decreases as the escaping tendency of the molecules decreases, due to which vapor pressure decreases. So boiling point is inversely proportional to vapor pressure. If vapor pressure increases, boiling point will decrease. Lowering in vapor pressure. We know that a pure solvent has more vapor pressure than the solution containing non-volatile solute. The question is why? It is because the vapor pressure is the process of evaporation, depends upon evaporation and depends upon number of liquid particles escaping out from the liquid surface. So when solvent is pure, more number of molecules can escape out, but when solute is added, it is non-volatile and occupies some space on the surface. So number of particles escaping out as vapors decrease, so vapor pressure decreases. Decrease in vapor pressure is known as the vapor pressure of pure solvent minus vapor pressure of the solution. And relative lowering in vapor pressure is the ratio of decrease in vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Raoult's law for the partial pressure, it indicates the relation of partial pressure, means contribution of each component for the vapor pressure in total solution vapor pressure. That indicates that partial pressure of a component in solution of two components in mixture is directly proportional to its mole fraction. So PA means of a solvent is directly proportional to its mole fraction, and it is equal to P naught X. P naught means its vapor pressure in pure state. There are two conditions where Raoult's law can be applicable. Number two, both of the components are volatile, both are contributing their partial pressure towards the solution. In that case, as per the Raoult's law, total vapor pressure will depend upon sum of partial vapor pressure of two components, and these are related as PA is equal to PA naught XA and PB is equal to PB naught XB. So when these two are added, total vapor pressure can be obtained. As the diagram indicates, at one time where the pure component 1 is present, so total vapor pressure will be due to it. It is P1 naught. And when the solution is having only the component number 2, so vapor pressure will be according to it. And as soon as we add component 2 in the component 1, the composition of 1 will decrease and that of 2 will increase, and that vapor pressure contribution will also change in the same way. And we can find out the total vapor pressure as the contribution of 2, that is P total is equal to P1 plus P2, and these are having the relation PB is equal to PB naught XB, and PA is equal to PA naught XA. These two are added, we can find out the total vapor pressure. Example. In this case, we are having two components, two liquids A and B. Their vapor pressure in pure state are 450 and 700 millimeter mercury at 350 Kelvin. Find out the composition of the liquid mixture if total vapor pressure is 600 millimeter mercury, and find out the composition of vapor phase also. For that, we must know what we have to find out. First of all, find out the values which are given in the numerical. Pa1 naught is equal to 105 kilopascal. And vapor pressure of octane, pure state, these are standard values. So we have to take from the list of the vapor pressure in pure states. These are given. Molar mass of heptane, it is calculated by formula 100 gram per mole, and number of moles of heptane will be 26 moles, means divided by 100 because these are presented as compared to 100 gram component. So 0.26 moles of heptane are present. Now molar mass of heptane, that is also given, and we will find out the number of moles. 35 divided by 114 equal to 0.31 mole. So mole fraction of 1 will be number of moles of 1 divided by total moles, equal to 0.456, and mole fraction of the octane will be 1 minus 0.456 because the sum of mole fractions of two components is equal to 1. Now partial pressure of heptane can be obtained because we have calculated their mole fractions. So P1 is equal to X1, P1 naught, values are put. Partial pressure of octane, that is also calculated. Hence the vapor pressure of the solutions, these are combination of 47.97 plus 25.46 equal to 73.43 kilopascal. So in that case, we have to solve the numerical in the same way. Raoult's law for the solutions containing non-volatile solute, means when solutes are not converting into vapors. So as per this law, the total vapor pressure of the solution will depend only on the solvents and its mole fraction because the solute is non-volatile, and as per law, the vapor pressure of solution is directly proportional to mole fraction of the solvent and equal to P naught A upon into XA. P naught A means vapor pressure in pure state. So vapor pressure of solution is equal to product of vapor pressure of pure solvent and its mole fraction. So having this value, PS is equal to PA naught XA and XA is equal to 1 minus XB. So placing that value, we will calculate this equation and we find XB is equal to P naught A minus PS upon P naught A. This relation is known as the relative lowering in vapor pressure, which is equal to mole fraction of the solute present in the solution. Raoult's law as a special case of Henry's law. We can say by comparison that Raoult's law and Henry's law are not very different. These are nearly saying the same thing. Raoult's law is applicable to liquid-liquid solutions and Henry's law is applicable to gas in a liquid solution. And for that, partial pressure of each component of the solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction. So that is given Pi is equal to Pi naught Xi, means the partial vapor pressure Pi without naught. And in case of Henry's law, the partial pressure of the gas in the vapor phase is proportional to the mole fraction of gas in the solution, and relation is P is equal to KHX. So there is only difference of P naught and KH. If these two are similar, both of the law are same. So we can say Raoult's law is special case of the Henry's law. Both are saying the same thing. Now, next topic we have to discuss is the ideal solution. Ideal solutions means which obey Raoult's law under all conditions of temperature and pressure. Means mixing the two components, the total vapor pressure should be equal to partial pressure of one and two components vapor pressure. Number 2, there should be no heat change when we mix the two components. ना heat evolve होनी चाहिए, ना ही absorb होनी चाहिए. delta V mixing should be 0. Means if we add 20 ml of A, 20 ml of B, so total volume must be 40. So then it is ideal solution. Actually no solution is ideal, but if there is no interaction between the components, then it can behave as the ideal solution. Now in case of ideal solutions, when we add two components like solute in solvent, solvent in solute, so we can say that solute and solvent interaction should be equal to solute and solvent interactions. These should be same, so there will be ideal behavior. And hexane and heptane, these are having no interactions, so these are ideal solutions. C2H5Br, C2H5Cl, no interaction, so these are forming ideal solutions. And condition is that on addition there should be no change in their volume, heat change and total vapor pressure. And this condition is given by the ideal solutions when we use XA, mole fraction of A, mole fraction of B, and with the change in their composition, the contribution towards the total vapor pressure also changes, and we can find out the total vapor pressure equal to PA plus PB, means partial vapor pressure of two components. That line is very straight line, so these lines should be obtained when solution is ideal. Non-ideal solutions which do not follow Raoult's law, means on mixing two components, total vapor pressure is not equal to sum of partial pressures of two components. Number 2, on mixing there should be some change in energy, not equal to 0. On mixing two, volume changes, means not equal to 0. We are adding 20 plus 20, volume may be 39.9 or 40.1. It means something is changing. It is non-ideal solutions. In means on mixing two components, the interaction between the two components, their molecules, is different from the interactions in their pure state. That is solute-solute, solvent-solvent interactions are different than solute-solvent interaction on mixing. A solution showing positive deviation from Raoult's law. क्या होगा जब पॉजिटिव डेविएशन मीन्स चेंज कैसे होगा, क्या है ये? When two components are mixed together means solvent and solute are mixed together, so their interactions if becomes weak, means solute and solvent interaction is weaker than solute-solute and solvent-solvent interaction. In that case, both of the components can have more escaping tendency into vapor state. So vapor pressure will increase, and that is the positive deviation from Raoult's law. In their cases, on mixing two components, heat is absorbed. Reaction will be endothermic. On mixing two components, the value will be positive, means volume will increase. So suppose we are adding 20 plus 20 ml of two components, two liquids. So total volume is increasing more than 40 ml. Then it is positive deviation. Identification for such type of deviation is the solution becomes cool, ठंडा हो जाएगा, endothermic reaction है. Number 2, volume of the solution will increase. 20 plus 20 means 40. So volume of the solution will be more than 40. So we can identify the examples. In case of ethyl alcohol and acetone, ethyl alcohol is having hydrogen bonding, so their escaping tendency is very slightly little, but on addition of acetone in it, it comes in between alcohol molecules. So alcohol breaks the hydrogen bonding, or due to acetone, so ethanol and acetone both can evaporate easily, so vapor pressure will increase. तो इस केसेस में दो को मिलाने पर अट्रैक्शन फोर्स टूटेंगे जो ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट थे, जिसके कि दोनों की एस्केपिंग टेंडेंसी बढ़ेगी और वो वेपर प्रेशर टोटल इंक्रीज होगा, जब वेपर प्रेशर इंक्रीज होगा तो बॉइलिंग पॉइंट डिक्रीज होगा। ये जो कर्व आता है जो आइडियल कंडीशंस के लिए था वो थोड़ा सा स्लाइटली कर्व्ड होगा अपवर्ड, और सारी वैल्यूज उस अपवर्ड कर्व के अकॉर्डिंगली ही मिलेंगी। सो दैट इज द पॉजिटिव डेविएशन। A solution showing negative deviation from Raoult's law, the solution in which solute-solvent interactions are stronger than solute-solute and solvent-solvent, means A2 plus B2 are mixed together. So if A-B interaction is stronger than A interaction, B-B interaction, then both of the molecules cannot escape out easily in vapor state. So vapor pressure will decrease, and that is negative deviation. And the curve which was given in the ideal condition, that will be shown by the solid lines, means lower than the standard conditions. So that is the negative deviation. How can we identify positive or negative deviation? So in these cases, on mixing 2, the reaction is exothermic and solution will be warm or hot. And on mixing 2, the volume change will be negative, means decrease in volume will take place. Suppose we add 20 plus 20, so volume will be lesser than 40 ml. One thing new is there. When we see the position in this curve at a particular point or mole fraction composition XA and XB, there is a condition where the mixture has constant vapor pressure and constant boiling point. That is known as the azeotropic mixture. So azeotropic mixtures ये binary mixtures होते हैं, binary components के, and these have same composition in liquid as well as in vapor phase, and these boil at constant temperature for some time without change in concentration or composition. Composition में कोई change नहीं आ रहा, लेकिन ये boil होते रहते हैं उसी temperature पे. So these are constant boiling mixtures, and in such cases it is not possible to separate out the components by fractional distillation. So in both cases, positive as well as negative deviation, these azeotropic mixtures are formed at a particular composition of, suppose that may be 0.64, so XB will be 0.36, and then the mixture will have constant vapor pressure and constant boiling point. Azeotropic mixture for solutions showing positive deviation. So where there is positive deviation, azeotropic mixtures have higher vapor pressure but boiling point will be low. So these are having the constant boiling with maximum vapor pressure and minimum boiling point, and boil at the same temperature without change in composition. Azeotropic mixture of solution having negative deviation, वहाँ कैसे बनेंगे? So azeotropic mixture which are formed in negative deviation, these have the vapor pressure minimum at a particular composition and boiling point will be maximum. These are also constant boiling mixtures, means which boil without change in composition at the same temperature. That's all for today. Thank you. Keep watching, like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.